One is the question of education. For some reason, whatever reason, lack of money, lack of priorities, because of our religion having an oral culture, arrived but not yet implemented. Primary education was never given the focus it required, but now I believe it's reached a point where it has become very important. Unfortunately, the government schools don't function, so children are going to private schools. Today, even in the slums of India, more than 50% of urban kids are going into private schools. So there is a big challenge in getting the schools to work. But having said that, there's an enormous desire among everybody, including the poor, to educate the children. So I believe primary education is an idea which has arrived but not yet implemented. Why does what's happening 10,000 miles away matter to all of you? Number one, this matters because this represents more than 1 billion people. 1 billion people, 1/6 of the world population. It matters because this is a democracy, and it's important to prove that growth and democracy are not incompatible, that you can have democracy, that you can have an open society, and you can have growth. It's important because if you solve these problems, you can solve the problems of poverty in the world. It's important because you needed to solve the world's environment problem. If we're really going to come to a point where we want to put a cap on our carbon emission, we want to really lower the use of energy, it has to be solved in countries like India. You know, if you look at the development in the West over 200 years, the average growth may have been about 2%. Here we're talking about countries growing at 8 to 9%, and that makes a huge difference. When India was growing at about 3.5%, and the population was growing at 2%, its per capita income was doubling every 45 years. When the economic growth goes to 8%, and population growth drops to 1.5%, then per capita income is doubling every 9 years. In other words, you're certainly fast-forwarding this whole process of 1 billion people going to prosperity, and you must have a clear strategy which is important for India and important for the world. And that's why I think all of you should be equally concerned with it as I am. Thank you very much.